I knew that the only right thing to do was to run through his face. I begged for 2 years for this to be called. Pretty sure I hit this like 300-pounder really hard. Bow. I think that coach had a rude awakening of who he was kicking the ball at that day. That's a you can't mess with me moment in different words. This play is a power play. This is something in high school. I ran this play probably out of 350 carries. I probably ran it 290 of them. But just going through this play right here, it just shows the power, the balance, the fight that my team has. I'm about to score a touchdown, and there's almost 11 guys in the end zone with me. Just watch everybody run behind me, understanding that Skat's still going. I think my 360-pound right tackle right there, 76, is making it to the end zone. So with his hand up in the air, so this is an awesome memory, core memory for me.
At any point there, are you like surprised that you're still up?
Yeah, there was a point where I was fully bent in half and my face mask was touching the floor, but nothing else was but my feet and my face mask. So it was kind of cool, like literally collapsing and then standing back up and being able to keep running and realizing that. I'm glad the ref was able to, look at that and be like, he's still up. He never went down. So
really pushing it and trying to put the sword through the heart here in the first. This is Asher O'Hara. Finds Skattebo in the flat. Cameron inside the 5. Skattebo! Touchdown! Delivering punishment.
Oh, man. This was just a swing pass. This was just something like a check down pass to me. My quarterback, Asher, me and him had a really good connection. We faked it. He seen the guy leave the flats, and I realized that there was a guy trying to tackle me at some point, and I knew that the only right thing to do was to run through his face right before the end zone. So that was kind of my thoughts here, is catch the ball. Obviously, I needed to score a touchdown, but I got to do it in my fashion of scoring touchdowns.
Onside kick try, picked up by Sacramento State. And nearly turning it to 6 at the other end. What a run! Into the end zone! Touchdown, Cameron Skattebo! What else can he do?
Oh, funny story about this one. So we were smoking this team, I think maybe more than 30 points, 25 at least. And they scored a touchdown late, and they tried to kick an onside kick late to try to get the ball back to score again, because we had our third strings in. We were letting the freshmen play, we were letting the young guys play, the guys that don't play a ton. And I looked at my coach and I said, if they try to onside kick this to me, I'm scoring. And when they onside kicked it, I made sure I scored. And then as I walk away, you can see me point, I'm kind of pointing to the other sidelines, don't do that. That's a bad idea. I think that coach had a rude awakening of who he was kicking the ball at that day.
And you kind of hit for the first time the 25-yard line. What's that like to have 3 people on your back and just keep on trucking?
Yeah, you got to keep your legs churning. A lot of people, they play football, they get hit, their legs die because they think they're tackled. And, I always believe in that I'm never tackled. That guy never had me down. He never even thought he was going to tackle me. So I just keep my legs churning and keep pushing.
That's a big one. Little option play, room to run for Skattebo, out in space, hurdles over, Shakir stays on his feet.
Pretty sure I hit this 300-pounder really hard. Bow. Yeah, so funny, this one's actually pretty good because, I caught this pass from him. I caught this option play from him. Made the first guy miss, jumped over him a little bit, and then when I seen the big boy coming, I knew that I had to show him he was trying to come and take a cheap shot on, and I think he started to feel that one at the end there. I actually did feel this hit a little bit. This one hurt a little bit, but hitting this guy made me feel good about, some people will think twice about taking a cheap shot on somebody on the sidelines. Just think about it. Like, I see it's 1st and 10 here, but imagine if it was 4th and 14 and I needed that extra yard, you know, and that's kind of how I play every time I touch the ball. I always want that extra yard. I always want the extra 2 yards. I know how much it means to the team. I know how much it means to the next play, to the next drive, and just the momentum it brings to my teammates knowing that I'm giving everything I got on the field. Touchdown.
Possession. Skattebo's going to try to throw it downfield, and it is caught. And into the end zone goes Malik McClain. Cam Skattebo.
Short but long story. I knew this was going to be a toss play. Obviously, I knew it was going to be a pass. Trick play. Malik was actually not supposed to run this route. He was supposed to come straight across the field or run a fade. I actually don't remember exactly. He might even been able to run a comeback. But right before this play, I signaled to Malik to run a fade. And when I signaled it to him, you know, he gave me the head nod. And I seen that once he went outside, the guy kind of turned outside. And I watched him turn, and I seen that Malik had beat him inside. He went back inside. So I knew as long as I got the ball inside of Malik and made sure that he was able to catch it, that something good was going to happen. So I kind of threw a duck, kind of underthrew him a little bit, but I knew if I threw it in the vicinity away from the DB that I was going to be perfectly fine no matter what happened. So, you know, excellent play by him, adjusting to the ball. This is one of my greatest moments in college. You know, I enjoyed this. This was like kind of the start of our comeback during this game. So this one holds a good, nice, special place in my heart. I begged for 2 years for this to be called.
Looking for Skattebo, and he gets him. Flag is down. Stiff arm, helmet off, and multiple flags down as it is an explosive play to Skattebo.
As a running back, you don't get the opportunity to really run like a fade ball, or, you know, if they do, it's usually a runoff, or you're not really going to get the ball, and you know that. But during this game, when you know, I got started heating up, I threw a touchdown pass. We got the ball back. I was like, Coach, I need the ball. So right here, you know, I was like, Coach, throw me the ball. They are not going to guard me. They kept bringing a linebacker on me, and actually, the time we called it to throw it to me, there was a safety. Taff was on me, and I looked at Sam. I was like, you better throw this freaking ball. Gave him a double move, got past him. You know, I feel like I have pretty good ball skills, so I was able to adjust to the ball, make a play on it, and then he did the little cheapness of grabbing my face mask because he knew if he didn't, that was going to be even worse of a moment for him. So just pushing him off, throwing him off, trying to stiff arm him. If he didn't have a hold of my face mask, you know, that was another touchdown added to the books. So you never know how that would have went.
And your stare after kind of became an iconic moment for you. What's going through your head right at that point?
That's a you can't mess with me moment in different words. That's the you can't mess with me. I'm here, and I'm here to stay, and we're going to win this football game. Obviously, we didn't end up coming out on top, but we gave it everything we had, and, you know, I tried my hardest to make sure we could win. I don't even know how this happened.
Here is Skattebo. Wow. Untapped balance. Stays on his feet. And rumbles into the end zone.
I was blessed by God with a great opportunity or a great tactic of mine of really good balance. So getting through the hole was something that, you know, was a natural thing for me. But, you know, the after part of the run, like this part right here, is just me keeping my legs going, trying to get into the end zone, making sure that I'm focusing on scoring. And that part right there, you know, JT was making a great block, and I knew if I made him miss, then it was a touchdown. So the feeling of being beat 55-3 by Utah the year before, and knowing that we're down 3 points and we need to score, that just gave me more momentum and more, you know, motivation to just get in the end zone every time I touch the ball. And, you know, you can see my guys fighting for me there, so shout out to them.
Bring a couple of extra offensive linemen in here on 3rd down and 1. Skattebo, again a broken tackle, and he can walk in. Touchdown! 3rd of the first half for Cam Skattebo.
This is exactly why when we bring in 10 in the box, you don't bring in 10 in the box. Because if one guy doesn't make the play, there's nobody left. I knew if I broke the line of scrimmage, it was a touchdown instantly, you know. And then, you know, AJ Green was sitting there, YouTuber, my boy. He's sitting there with the ball. I ran straight at him. The touchdown before, I told him I would come sign the ball for him. And I said the next touchdown. So the next touchdown I scored in the same end zone, you know, I had to go sign the ball for him for the video. So that was pretty cool.
Really has been paying dividends early.
Here is Skattebo, and this is exactly what he does. How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go! Skattebo!
Yeah, this is just pure chaos. As you can see, like this whole play, if you rewind this thing and you go back, every time I look straight, I look back again. I look back there, look back there, I look back there. Knew I was gonna make him miss. Looked back again, tried to get him off. He made a good tackle. But this, like I said, this is just a definition of the Cam Skattebo football. Like, I just try to score every time I touch the ball. It's just in me to be angry and run hard. And you know, you see Melquan working down the field here, number 5. My guys understand that there's something can always happen if I have the ball in my hands. So, you know, I continue to fight, and I know I have my guys help. If I break 20, 30 yards, I know I have an extra guy there to help me out. So it just shows you the type of football that I like to play, and, you know, the people I bring along with me.